You guys
I'm
all
recording.
set? All right, sick, neat, cool. Hello, hello, Toonkind Draft House, my beloved. My name is Launch, and welcome to my very fancy Animus party. Uh, today you join us for the Brecht Brigade Inn, dreaming of a white or green Animus, and it is, as always, takes place in Villestown, beloved Villestown, where we see one lovely idiot witch pouting in her house as usual, in front of a number of her friends. But who, pray tell, has she invited, and who's joining us on this journey today? If we can start at the top.
Hello, my name is Avi. I've already started to eat my dice. I will be playing Abby K. Deborah, a fellow witch, I guess.
Love Abike.
Hello, I'm Sartaro, and I'm gonna be playing Beatrice Coronel, Honeydew Nectarine, like Crown the Six. Or B, for sure.
We love B. We love B so much.
Hey, should I go now or should I wait till
Are
later?
you? Yeah, I wasn't sure. I didn't want to cut you
Try
off.
I might as
we'll do
well
Mock
introduce
next.
myself.
Okay, hi, I'm Mock. I'm playing Echo LeBlanc. She's blue, and she's investigative reporter, and she's also here.
We love her. And joining me today is my lovely co-conspirator and co-DM, the one, the only.
Hello
Cartoon
everyone, my
Kitsune.
name is Cartoon Kitsune, and well, you will be seeing who I will be playing a little later on in the game, but I am here, so.
She's here to help me cause
Kit's
chaos
just sitting
and
here.
trouble, menacingly, as she is wont to do.
Woo.
But with introductions out of the way, we once again swoop back to the very familiar apartment of Road is hyphen and silent hyphen, of course. As she has you all sat around a table, with a number of boxes just kind of scattered around. Some of them she has very deliberately put out of you guys' reach, possibly Animus gifts that are some for one or all of you. But she has you all here on a very special mission. Cause gosh darn it, I can't stand it any longer. It's been 50 degrees since the start of the season, and I can't take it anymore.
Wear a coat.
I am wearing a coat. It's not the point known. And she has no need to explain to you all, natives of Villestown, the Villestown tradition. Every year, it is decided if we are going to have a green or white animus, and that is decided by sending letters to the professors, Professor Fever and Professor Chill. And only through it is generally believed that whichever one is the most voted for is whatever it is that year. But this year, no such luck. It has neither been on the hotter side nor the cooler side. It has just been a very mild, very boring 50 degrees.
Well, it has been quite average.
Yeah, it's boring is what it is. What am I gonna do? Nothing. There ain't nothing special about it. Did y'all say it in your letters?
Of course.
I believe so.
Abby, did you send in your letter?
Yes, I sent in my letters.
Well, then why ain't they doing anything about it none? We send in the letters every year. This ain't ever happened. What's the point of all this? If we send in letters and they ain't doing nothing, what's the point of sending the letters? What's the point?
Well, what if it was a draw?
It can't be a draw. It ain't never been a draw before. They've always decided one way or the other, ain't they? Or I mean, it always has been one way or the other, because that you know.
Perhaps the
Right.
letters were intercepted on their way to them.
That's rather
Oh.
dramatic.
I
Has
didn't
anybody
think of
just
that.
decided?
None.
Has anybody just decided to go to the address we send them to?
You think you can go to the address right easy, none? No.
Yes, I can actually.
What?
I will.
Well, we do have brooms.
May.
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 Yes.
Okay, what are we doing then?
Um, I don't know. Shit, I didn't think about this.
E.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
we
May, we're
kind
really
of we
sorry. We
call in
tried to
Sotaro
message
for
you.
backup.
Because it had been like a half an hour and you weren't responding. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, your mic isn't working, May. May?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can't.
we can't hear you.
What? Why isn't working? What the fuck?
Oh, you sound like a robot now.
You're really staticky.
Hello? What the fuck? Okay, if mic isn't working anymore, I guess I'm not taking this one. I'm very sorry.
It's all
Yeah.
good, May.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
sorry
we're
about
sorry,
that.
May.
Just the way it worked out.
Yeah.
Simply Patty, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I forgot where we were.
Oh.
We
Abby was threatening to go straight up to the goddamn address.
I don't see why
I
not.
mean, it's not like that easy, I don't think. I mean, cause think about it. When you ever write the letters, it's not mailing it to a specific place. It's you mailing them to the professors. Not like I'm mailing it to the professors at insert location here, street name, other thing.
Well, it sounds to me like we have to do a little bit of investigation.
That's true. I did have an idea, though. I didn't know if you girls would be down for this, though. I feel like, I don't know. I wasn't sure if y'all were, like, upset about this as much as me.
Well, I'm happy to help.
Yay! Thanks, B. I really want it to be a white Animus. I want to go sledding. I want to go sledding so bad. They haven't given me no chance with it because there ain't been no snow. And I want it to be snowing like crazy, and I want it to be all pretty like, and then I don't have to go into work.
Fair.
But I gotta go into work anyways.
Well, it has caused the hibernation for some of the V's to be delayed a bit, so
Abby's
Oh,
glancing up. Continue.
I didn't know that much about the bees. Can the bees play in the snow? I met a bee once.
Oh no, the V's quite do not like the snow or anything
Oh.
cold. But it is a perfect time to stay in and sleep. It's a perfect break.
Do the bees sleep?
Oh yes.
Alright, that's mighty good.
Abby's looking off to the side because she thinks snow and she thinks of shoveling snow out of the driveway. Yikes.
But I did have one idea, and she reaches under the table that you guys are all sitting at, and she takes out a comedically large box and flips it on its side. Alright, get in.
What? Are we shipping ourselves to the...
Yeah, I mean, I'm just figuring, cause like, the only people who actually know how to get there are like the mail mice and all them such. And I don't know if they'd be
Alright,
like
going
nice and like
uh,
what?
Abby starts stepping into the box.
Yay!
Well, we will like very, very carefully take a step in.
Cause I mean, like, the only other option would be to like ask the mail mice, and I don't like know if that's an option none, if they'd actually agree to that, like letting us in, cause it's gotta be like a big secret thing, ain't it?
Likely. I have had
Perhaps.
a few conversations with the male mice. They do not like to be disturbed while en route.
Yeah, I tried to use this trick once. I almost made myself to the engineer, except I got caught. But hopefully it'll work this time.
What happens if we get caught?
You just see her like she sticks her tongue out in thought for a moment. I don't know.
Well, I suppose it's better than anything else.
All right.
Echo
You
just
can get in.
shrugs, summons Dahlia, her familiar in the form of a crow, and just basically gives the instruction to keep an eye on the box, follow it. And she'll be periodically checking in via, like, looking through Dahlia's eyes.
I see.
Dahlia beloved.
Just as they're moving.
All right. Well, you guys are all sealed up into this lovely padded box that Road made for you all. There's blankets in there. There's hot cocoa. The hot cocoa's probably gonna spill, but it's okay because she made sure to have this side upside on the right side this time. So you guys
Are we
probably
sure
won't get
about
over. No. Uh, she's hoping that it'll work, and it's not too long of road strapping the whole box to her broom, bringing it over to the mail center. And not too much later after that, you guys feel the box start to rumble as you guys are put on a truck and are start to be driven away.
Amazing. Is this a box for 3-dimensional tunes or 2-dimensional tunes?
This is a 3D box, so it's definitely spacious for the 2D tunes.
I am thinking about the concept of like a flat, like shipping envelope, and they're just
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Nah, she wanted you guys to go in style, so you guys got a whole 3D box.
This is
Wow.
first class mailing.
First class.
Exactly. You don't-
UPS first class.
But you definitely figure you have some time until you get there because well, the truck is going and it stops every once so often, presumably to drop off mail. But it's relatively quiet right now. You guys doing anything?
She has been going to her hammer space and playing out seats and just putting flowers around just to decorate the place, make it more lively.
Aww. Very lively cardboard box.
Hang on, I'm gonna roll hammer space because I did in fact speed run making Abby a hammer space that's themed on magicians and
Oh, excellent.
yeah, she pulls out a deck of cards. And so like whoever wants to play cards with her can.
Amazing.
If-
Echo will take you up on that. She'll do some cards.
Well,
They don't have to be playing the actual game, but her poker face is intense.
Amazing.
I think at some point Echo, like, she's not very chatty, but I think she's curious enough to just say, like, so, who did you girls send your letters into?
I'm going to be real. I sent mine to shoot. What was his name? The
Professor Fever.
Professor Fever and okay, yeah,
Professor Phil.
okay. I sent mine to Professor Fever.
Oh, interesting. Why?
I'm going to be real. I don't like snow that much. Like, yeah, it can be pretty, but it's cold and it's wet and it gets all in my shoes when I'm like trying to get through the city. And do you know what it's like trying to shovel like 6 inches of snow out of the walkway.
Echo,
It's
who has lived in the city her entire life and has never had to shovel like a sidewalk.
My God.
it sucks.
She just kind of nods as if she understands. Her eyes turn to B.
Oh, I was told I have to send my letter to Professor Weaver. So I did that since that is what everybody else in my colonies is supposed to do. But I very much would prefer snow.
Well, who told you you had to send it to one or the other?
The Queen.
And Echo makes like a look that's just like, you know what, fair.
So the queen just makes your decision for you.
She is my mother.
Ugh, Abby just winces.
Yeah, I mean, Echo also, she didn't realize that. But, you know. She'll just go back to... I don't know what she's doing, counting cards.
Echo, blatantly cheating. Good.
It's not like you're ever gonna notice.
But gradually, you can kind of like tell that the pressure is getting lighter, so there's less boxes on top of you, until suddenly there is this rap knocking on top of the cardboard, which for some reason sounds like wood, definitely not just because it's on my desk, and it's just like, hello?
Oh, we can't hear
Ron,
it,
I know
Launch.
you're in here!
Launch,
I
we
know
can't
you're in
hear
there.
it. Discord isn't picking it up. Sorry, go ahead.
I know you're in there!
Watch is not who I think it is.
I don't know, is it?
Suppose someone is
Nobody's in here.
And you hear like the faint stomping of snow away.
my God.
And
guess-
moments later, like it's out of a horror movie. Something pierces through the top of the box and cuts all the way through, narrowly missing you all as the flaps are opened and reveals a very, very frazzled, very disgruntled male mouse who is looking down at you all. Are you sure you want to be doing this
God,
during
oh
the
my
Animus season? Do you know how much mail I have to deliver in the Animus season? You guys aren't rude.
No.
What do you guys
No.
what are you doing in here though? I mean, like, this is the kind of stuff I'd expect Road to pull off. Again?
So you just opened mail that didn't belong to you? Huh.
Well, it's not like you were in here, so obviously I was right. Obviously.
Well, we're supposed to be shipped, and we followed procedures.
No, you didn't follow procedures. You know nothing about mail time law.
No.
Well, you did just
Evidently.
did just tamper mail, so
It's not
checkmate.
temporary mail if I am doing it on behalf of the Mail Mice Association. Because one of the rules, you are not supposed to ship live individuals through mail, and that includes trying to ship yourself to places.
Who said
Well,
they were
what
alive?
about animals? As I heard that you can ship animals, like
Yeah, but there's like
pets.
That's true, but you need to go through special procedures for that. Even if this was an exotic pet, I would still have to fine you all just because this isn't the proper postage.
If I give you 5 gold, will you just pretend this never happened?
5 gold is not enough to buy my silence! I have honor as a mail mouse.
How about 10?
You just see her start vibrating.
Is this the point where you make like a persuasion or something?
Go for it.
Okay. Who does the persuasion? I suppose that the Abby and B is helping, so you get
Yeah,
advantage.
God, I wish you guys had heard me say what I said, because that would have
Yeah,
taken us
I
in an
just heard-
entirely
I heard
different
Echo-
direction.
I heard Echo just go, "Who said we're alive?" Echo. Who's rolling persuasion?
Was someone gonna
Yeah.
roll?
Who was giving 10 gold? That's
Oh,
the
B's
person.
gonna pay for the 5 extra gold.
All right.
Abby, if you're the one who upped the ante, yeah, you're the one who's rolling.
Yep. Oh, me? Oh, okay. Oh, that's a wonderful idea for
Oh,
B. So, okay. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Oh!
Damn.
Nice.
So you look at this male, you like offer out this 10 gold to this very disgruntled male mouse, and you just like see her eyes like hone in on it. She's like, "Do you know how much overtime I have to do during the Animus season?" Okay, I'll take
So,
it.
buy yourself something with this.
Yeah, okay.
Amazing, amazing.
Like immediately just like deflates. She's like, "Yeah, okay. Maybe I can buy some more DJ Moves merch. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine, Daz. Just go against all of your principles. Just this once. It's fine. What's gonna happen?" Right?
We wouldn't say nothing. We're not gonna say any word of this.
We never saw you.
And you didn't see us.
I mean, I obviously did. I'm just taking the money to make you guys get the plates. You know what? No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine if I do this. I can take the 10 gold, and you see her go to the front of the truck, and she starts scribbling some things down, and I just fill out this form, and I do this tag. Then it's like stripping exotic animals, and then you slap that on top of this one, and then technically, if we go on a technicality, then that technically can vouch for at least one of you. So, and then I just pretend you guys were all package deal, and it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All right. It's fine.
Absolutely.
Is it like a little? It's like a truck, or cart?
Yeah,
or
it's like
whatever?
a little mail. It's like a little mail truck, and like this mouse is very small in comparison to it.
Yeah, Dahlia's just landed up on top of it and has just been keeping watch. Probably been hitching a ride for portions.
Also, because I didn't get to say it launch, I love that the drawing of Dad.
Oh yeah, actually, special thank you to Cell who did that to me. Did this for me last night.
Who did this
Last
to
night
me?
when I asked. Yeah, did this to me. uh, but you have successfully bribed a male mouse.
Great.
I hope you are feeling as guilty as you deserve.
Are you kidding? Abby is
I
living.
think this was a bad transaction.
Well,
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine.
It's not
it's
theft, so
fine.
I should be in the clear.
No, it's not. It's not theft. I don't deal with theft. I just deal with mail. Are you guys going to steal something? Please tell me no.
No, that's mail fraud.
I mean, what do you think this is? And she's like bouncing, and she's like bouncing with anger.
All right, cool. Abby gets it back into the box.
Yep, B goes back in. Just
Yeah, back into the box. Shh.
Yeah, I mean, Echo is still in the box.
It's okay, Daz. It's just a one-time thing. It's not like we're letting Road through here, and then Road somehow gets a leading role in one of the engineer's things, and also gets to meet DJ Moves. It's fine.
so we don't say anything, right?
We tell her
don't-
nothing.
Don't.
And she will seal you guys back up into your box. Thank you for solving my Daz puzzle.
I love her.
I can't believe we did that.
Yeah!
I cannot believe that worked.
It worked!
Listen, overtime can only compensate for so much.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take off some gold off of B now.
But the truck keeps going for quite a long distance. You're not entirely certain how much time has passed, but eventually you feel the box being moved, shoved down a ramp, and presumably it lands in snow. It feels suddenly very, very cold.
Ugh. Dang it.
Interesting.
I think. Oh god, they're good. No, they're good. No, Echo
They're
just
good.
puts her hands in her pockets. Like that's it. That's the only reaction you get out of her.
That's it.
Maybe she
Still in
does
the
one
box.
long. Maybe she does one long exhale, and you could see her breath, and it looks kind of like a noir, like she's smoking a cigarette.
Oh my
It does.
god.
It does look like a noir. It does look like a noir bit.
But she's not. It's just the air.
But you also not too long after you faintly hear the truck driving off. And then there's another stretch of silence. And then you hear an unfamiliar knock on your box.
Well, the first knock was unfamiliar, so.
Do you think we should get out?
Was it like a knock knock knock, or was it like a tap? Like,
It was like taps, like very 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 gentle knocks.
can I hear anything outside of the box? Can I do like a
Yeah, you can
like a
roll perception.
perception? What's my perception? It's not great. It's fine. 12. What's going on out there?
12. You can hear something moving through the snow.
Oh, I'm an idiot. What does Dahlia see?
Dahlia. Dahlia's that's true. Dahlia's right
Just
up
give
there.
me a bird's eye
Dahlia,
view.
You see a claymation little penguin kind of inspecting the box.
Does this penguin look official?
Of course, he's a penguin.
Very formal. You're right.
I love that.
I think Echo like looks at the like comes out of that, looks at the others, and makes a bunch of like hand signals, like when you're stealthing, to convey that there's a penguin outside, and it's inspecting the box.
B just gives a blank blink.
Yeah, it's up to you if your character actually understands what this means, but
What?
did Abby ask that out loud?
Abby asks that out loud. That was out loud, just blank stare. What?
I think. God. I think Echo just like goes goes over to you and like puts her hand in front of your mouth, just like, shh. We have a visitor.
You once again hear some knocks on the door.
No, you're kidding me!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Launch, you can't. Oh my god, that was so cute.
But you know, there's a very official looking lad outside waiting for you guys. If you guys will open the door.
Oh, it wants us to come out.
Get out.
Yeah. You guys are in the box.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
B's
He wants to know what's in the box.
think they're friendly. And B is just gonna go and open the box.
You are greeted with a very, very professional looking little man. It is a small penguin wearing a very fantabulous top hat. And he looks at you guys.
Good day to you.
Not.
Oh, for Peck's sake, that's adorable.
Question. Bee has beast speech due to the type of druid that she is, and she can commune with beasts and animals and such.
Is that
Does
is
this
that
work
is
or
that is
not?
that just like is that like speak with animals, or is it you can understand what they're saying? Like kind of like you can kind of get the gist of what they're trying to communicate.
Is it something that has to
It's
get
like
turned
speak with
on?
animals. No,
Okay.
it's just it's because of Bee's druid kind of deal.
See, it's kind of weird because everything seems to translate to just "Nup," but you're able to
Oh,
understand perfectly what they're
oh,
saying
wonderful,
regardless.
great, yes.
And this guy is inquiring what you all are doing here.
Oh, well, we're trying to go see the professors.
Nup, nup. And he asks you why.
Well, there has been neither snow nor heat over in those towns, so we were inquiring about what's been the issues or if there's any way we can help.
Look, look. And it seems like this penguin seems like he's pretty agreeable to at least leading you guys to the entrance.
This would be very helpful. Thank you very much.
Launch
Will
your
everyone-
power. Your power.
But if you guys finally get out of the box, if you want to roll a perception, I can kind of give you a lay of the land.
Sure.
Yeah.
Should I do another perception or
Yeah.
hype?
Huh.
That's 15 actually. I typed it wrong. That's a 15.
Magnifying glass. All right.
13.
Well, not the best, but you know what? It's okay. Cause it's mostly just word flavor. It's mostly just flavor, anyways. Um, while it is kind of hard to see because of the enormity of it, you can see, not too far from you, this magnificent ice castle adorned with crystals of all types and ice sculptures, and it looks something out of a fairy tale. Though, of course, that's not entirely out of place in some place like Inkwell. There is a tremendous amount of snowfall around, which does obscure your vision further to the sides or back even. So getting back might be a bit of a trek and a trouble, but for now, it seems you have made it somewhere.
We are definitely somewhere. Real quick, Abby's going to prestidigitate her vest so it's warmer.
All right, that's probably good. Yeah, there is a bit of a biting chill, to be honest. But since you guys are just coming out of the box, it hasn't like caught in too fast yet. But there is a waddling penguin, kind of waiting politely, very polite. This penguin, waiting for you all to follow.
Well, we should follow them. They're gonna lead us over to the entrance. And Bee kind of like smiles. You can see the feel that Bee is smiling at the very least. At the others. At the others.
Yeah, Echo shrugs. She'll go.
Abby just kind of sighs and follows.
All right. I will lead you to the next spot, and then I will hand it off to my fellow DM. But this little penguin kind of slides on his belly and occasionally pops up, waiting for you all to catch up, because he is surprisingly fast when he's sliding like that. But he leads you to a little kind of alcove. It's definitely out of the storm. Almost indoors. It's definitely less chilly here. It's so pretty, honestly. The walls are covered in snowflake patterns. There are icicles that hang from the ceiling, and the light catches them just so. It looks like crystalline. It's so nice. And in front of you, there is a room with a tile floor made what you presume to be out of ice. And at the very end is a door. And the bird kind of just like stands to the side. It's just like, not.
Thank you very much.
Look.
And B is gonna give like a gentle little pat on top of their head.
And now I'll hand it over to Kit.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Kit.
Hi, Kid!
Hi, Kit.
Hi. Right, so, yeah. So you guys are at the door. Do you go through the door?
I mean, yeah, I guess. Should I check for traps?
I feel
No,
like we
no.
should at least knock first. Because up until this point, people have been polite enough to knock, so it's like we should probably.
Exactly. You gotta be polite around here. All right.
Sure. Echo's gonna crouch down and try and listen through the bottom of the door, and see if she can hear anything before knocking.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the door's a bit too thick for you to hear anything. You can maybe hear like some footsteps, like there's probably people inside, but like you can't really hear a whole lot aside from that.
Well, we should knock.
Yeah, all right. Abby's
Sure.
just gonna walk over and knock.
You knock on the door, and a few seconds pass, and then the door opens, and there is another little penguin, also wearing a top hat, different from the first one, and it opens the door, kind of looks you guys up and down, and then goes, "Oops."
Abby looks to be.
Echo looks at Tippy.
Hello. We're here to see the professors.
Even kind of gives you guys another look, and then sort of shrugs, and then like opens the door and lets you guys inside.
It's like, yeah, all
Thank
right,
you.
whatever.
You guys came
Here
all
we
the way
go.
already, so
I'm really concerned that it's so easy so far.
well, you say that. So you guys all walk inside.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you walk inside, walk through the door, and you enter a very large room, and all of the like walls and whatnot are made of ice. The area you're currently standing on is just covered with snow. But a little bit further ahead, the majority of the room floor is all covered in ice. But the ice is sort of divided up into these little hexagonal tiles. So it's like a bunch of like ice tiles. There's some big icicles like up on the ceiling, and on the other side of the room there is a big door, so presumably the way forward. So it looks like you're gonna have to cross these ice tiles if you want to get there. What do you do?
So I'm just gonna assume that we left the brooms at home.
No, you can try to fly across.
Oh yeah, baby.
No, go for it.
Okay, hang on. Can you just one more time? It's hexagonal tiles.
It's basically like just a bunch of like ice-shaped tiles. So like it's ice, but it's divided up into tiles, basically.
And there's icicles.
Some big
On the
icicles
ceiling.
on the ceiling, and the door on the opposite side.
Okay.
So you try to fly across on your broom?
I mean, the little penguin like stops.
And the penguin just like kind of like steps off to the side and like actually no, yeah, I think the penguin's just kind of like watching you guys see what you guys do, but they're just kind of hanging off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
I think Echo just looks at the others for a sec. Just
These like
shrugs.
we can just walk across. I don't know if there's anything so dangerous.
I guess, I mean, is this a point where I say, can I check for traps, right? I should do that.
If you want to, you guys can roll either perception or investigation. I'll leave that up to
Yeah,
you.
this is going to be an investigation.
Mhm.
Oh, bad roll. 15.
That's not too bad.
The roll was a 6.
Yeah, fair enough. With that mod, it's not too bad, so.
That's an investigation.
Alright.
Perception?
Okay. So yeah. So I think all of you passed. B was like a little bit below the higher DC, so I'll go with B first. So B. So you notice. You glance up at the. Actually, I'd say like all three of you notice this. If you look closely at the tiles, there definitely seems to be water underneath it.
Mmm.
Yeah. And you look up at the icicles. Let's see. Notice that some of the icicles are dripping a bit of water, and the water drops are landing on certain tiles. And when the water hits the tile, it kind of makes a ping noise. This B sees that. The rest of you notice that. Kind of watch the drops falling. Like for a few moments, and it looks like that they're only falling on certain specific tiles, but there's also kind of a pattern. And let's see. I'm gonna give this one to Abby because she rolled the highest.
Sure.
Abby, yeah. So Abby, you kind of listen to like the sounds that the droplets are making when they hit the tiles. You notice that there's kind of a pattern to them. Like they're different sounds, and it sort of goes like ping, 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 ping.
It's good.
Yeah, so you notice that pattern of the droplets hitting the tiles. So what do you do?
Um,
Well, first, do you tell the rest of the group about it?
yeah, Abby just kind of like looks up and like listens and well, she was a performer and also is a tune, so it's like, yeah, this is probably purposeful. So she's just like, okay, there's a there's a musical tone coming going on here.
Oh?
Hmm.
Yeah, just the water's hitting those tiles. They're making like different tones when they hit the ground.
Well, I suppose we can either fly or do a little zens, I suppose.
I think Echo's gonna go over and just test one of those tiles with her foot. She's just gonna step on one.
Are you stepping on one of the ones that the water's hitting, or just like any of the other tiles?
One of the other ones for now.
And you're just like kind of tapping it with your foot.
Yep. Maybe she gets the broom and taps it with the other end of the broom.
It doesn't seem to react when you just kind of tap it.
Okay, good, good. She's gonna step on it.
Okay, so you step on a tile that's not having the water drip on it.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, the tile cracks and you fall into the water.
Well, can I at least make like a deck save to not?
Okay. Because you like stepped onto the tile entirely, so I'm gonna say you fall. And don't worry, it's not like that. It's not that bad actually, because so you fall in, but then moments later, you see kind of a blue shape swim under the water, grab you. It swims you over to like a hole that was over inside of like the snow that you're standing on.
I don't know how
And,
okay that is.
Yeah, and you shoot up out of the water, being dragged by another one of the little penguin dudes.
Well, I suppose.
Well,
Thank you.
oh my
And, I
God.
think like when you fell in the water, you kind of hear like a bit of like squawking laughter like off in the distance.
My
I think Abby's gonna be polite enough to like prestidigitate the
Actually, wait, one more because you fell in. Hang on. Oh no, I rolled max. Yeah, take 6 cold damage.
All right.
And now you know what happens if you step on one of the wrong tiles. So, do you guys do?
So the one that fell through was the one that didn't have the water drop, right?
Yeah, that was one of the wrong ones. So,
All right. Shoot, I'm trying to put my thoughts into words, and my mind just blanked. Give me a sec.
You're good.
I think what Abby's going to do, um, uh, she's going to step onto onto the tiles that have the sound coming off them. Uh, in order of the song that had like played.
All right. I'm gonna ask you to roll me either acrobatics or just a straight dex roll. To because this is a tiny bit slippery, so just to make sure that you land on the proper tiles.
All right, I can do acrobatics.
All right.
Holy shit!
Wow. Yeah, no, you do it perfectly. You practically like dance across the ice.
Well, she is a performer.
That's true. Yeah, she'd be very well suited for this. And as your foot hits each of the tiles, it also makes a noise, and it goes ding 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 ding. That gets you about halfway across the room. And now that you're further along in the room, because you couldn't hear this before at the far end of the room, but now you can hear the next part of the pattern. And interestingly enough, so for this next one, 3 drops land on the next tile in the pattern. It goes ding ding ding. Then one after it also does 3 drops, ding ding ding. And the one after that also does 3 drops. So do you step onto the next tile in the pattern?
I think what I'm going to do is that I am going to step on the first tile and then wait for the others to get here.
Okay, so you step on the tile and it goes ding. Dings once. Okay,
One
and
ding.
the rest of you want to roll either dex or acrobatics to try and get across?
Well, suppose here goes nothing. That'll be just Dex, because I don't got acrobatics.
Let me see.
Hey.
This is acrobatics. 18.
Okay, I'll say that's enough. Yeah, I'd say B. You're probably not as used to walking on ice, so you stumble a little bit, but you still get across just fine.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have gotten across where Abby was at the halfway point. So yeah, Abby. So you stepped onto the one tile, and the next one plays like the 3 tones, ding ding ding. So
Echoes.
do you step on? Yeah. So Abby, do you step onto the next tile?
Are my compatriots with me on the first of the 3 notes?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think if she's not
Mhm.
already, Echo's gonna
Okay. Yeah. Did you? So
hop
you all
onto the one that Abby's
went onto
on.
the ones that Abby was on. Okay, so yeah. So if you do that, then once each of you steps onto it, it dings again. All 3 of you are on the same one. Okay. So do you step onto the next one?
Yes. Sorry, the baby is making so much noise.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, no, I
So-
mean, yeah.
So yes,
Let's
all
go.
3 of you step onto the next one,
Mm-hmm.
and the one after that is also 3 dings. So I assume you do the same there.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, very nice. So you get across fine, and then one more stretch, and it goes ding, 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 ding. And I'm gonna have you guys roll another acrobatics or dex to get across this last little stretch.
All right.
You got it. I think the
Wow, very good roll.
27 was
Hey.
mine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow,
Oh,
no.
damn.
I'd
We
say
be
with those
having
rolls,
fun
like,
here.
you guys had a little bit of flair when you're like practically all 3 of you were like dancing across the ice,
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell
sing
yeah.
along with the song.
Flip
The lane
wizard.
number, you know.
Yeah. Right, and you guys reach the other side, and I think the two penguins on the opposite side of the room, they kind of give you a little bit of applause, like, newt, newt, newt! Like, good job. They
B
seem
turns
pretty
around,
pleased
gives
with
a
that.
like a bow.
Yeah, they seem very pleased.
Uh,
So, yeah,
yeah.
you have solved my ice tile puzzle. Very good job.
Hey.
Right, and so yeah, you can go through the door that you have reached.
Do we want to knock first again?
Yes. Yes, let's knock.
Might as well.
Yeah, Evie looks to the other two girls again and then just decides to walk over and knock.
I feel like they have a little like facial conversation, like facial exchange conversation of like,
Yeah.
is anyone
Bit
gonna
of a face
knock? And then one
journey.
of them's like, the other one's like, how about you knock? But it's all just facial expressions.
Yes.
Right on. Okay, so yeah, so you knock, and once again, after a few seconds, another penguin in a top hat comes to the door, kind of looks you guys up and down, and then they kind of like lean out of the door and look across the ice to the penguins on the other side, and they call out, "Newt, Newt, 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 Newt." And seemingly satisfied with whatever conversation they just had. B, actually, you can probably tell that they were basically the one at the door was basically asking the other two like if they did the puzzle properly.
God, amazing,
You
great. Good
did.
thing we didn't go through with brooms.
Yeah, I'll actually say it now because you finished the puzzle. If you did try to go on your brooms, you'd be blown back by like a really big gust of wind. So,
Amazing.
planned ahead for that. Yeah. So yeah. So Penguin seems satisfied and opened to hold the door open for you guys and we'll let you inside. And once you're in, they'll start like leading you further ahead. And see a little bit more of this place now. Now that you're in here, it's very much like a palace, very like kind of fancy decor, all made of ice, of course. But you also see kind of like along the walls and whatnot, there are all these slides made of out of ice. And every so often, you see one of the little penguins sliding on their bellies, like sliding along the slides, and it looks like it's a way for them to get to different parts of the castle more quickly. You know, penguins have those little feet, and they can only really waddle, so slides make it faster.
New.
There's just all these cute little house-in penguins with their little top hats, just zooming around or waddling around. It's very cute.
God, I fucking love those penguins.
Same.
And eventually, the penguin that you're with leads you to a sort of like a big room, and it looks like it's kind of a throne room. Very fancy. There's like a big fancy chair at the back of it. There's an ice chandelier just above you. Very pretty and sparkly.
I feel threatened by that chandelier. I'm just gonna say that on the. I'm gonna put that on the table.
No, guys, I swear it's just for aesthetic.
So it's just for aesthetic. Don't worry. Don't worry.
If it's
Don't
animated
worry
on
about
a
it,
different,
it's
on a different, on a different
Yeah,
frame,
what layer is it
I'm-
animated on?
Yeah.
It's animated
part of the
on
background.
5. Don't worry about it.
It's part of the background right now, but Don't
Okay,
worry, this
but
is-
it's
this
on
isn't,
thin
Phantom of the
fucking
Opera game, I
ice.
swear.
Yes, the
Or you're
pun is
fine.
intentional.
Ah!
Oh god.
Anyway, ignoring the chandelier. So yeah, you guys all walk in, and there's a bunch of like penguins all around here, kind of going around, doing their little jobs, just wandering around. But there is a much taller figure near the back of the room, kind of in front of the chair. They're not sitting in it. They're kind of pacing back and forth. Lunch, could you show us? Do you have some artwork of what this person looks like?
No.
Do you want me
Yeah.
to grab it? Okay, you got it.
Yeah, let me get him. Big Ham himself.
Oh.
God damn it!
Yes, you all see a humanoid-looking fellow, but he's definitely not human because he's got blue skin, and his hair is white, and it looks almost like snow. And he's got a very blue and white kind of color scheme. He's got a very long coat, blue and white striped scarf, gloves, and he's kind of pacing back and forth in front of the throne. He has a icicle cane in his hand. He's kind of tapping along the ground as he walks back and forth. He's kind of talking to the penguins as he's walking around, like, can't come to a compromise, then I'm not really sure, but I mean, it's been days now, and you'd think we would have something, but and if it wasn't so bloody hot out there, then I don't. And he's just kind of like muttering like that. He hasn't noticed you guys yet.
Hell
If you
yeah.
wanna call
Echo's
out to
gonna
him, or-
eavesdrop on this conversation.
Oh my god.
Abby kind of just feels compelled to like clear her throat.
Damn it!
Hello?
Yeah, I think the penguin that's with you also kind of calls out, "Newt, Newt!" And the man stops his pacing, and he finally notices the three of you. He turns to you and he says, "Oh, Reginald, there you are. I was wondering where you... Oh goodness. I didn't know we had guests." Reginald, why didn't you tell me that we had someone over? Newt, Newt! Well, all right, fair enough. I know we're busy, but still. At any rate, and he kind of walks up to you, putting the cane along the icy floor as he does so, and he walks up to you. Hello to you all. I'm not quite sure how you managed to get out here, but welcome nonetheless. Apologies, I'm not exactly prepared to entertain guests at the moment. Reginald, could you grab some tea for the three of them? Newt, Newt! Thank you. Allow me to introduce myself. Normally I would do a bit more of a bigger greeting, but we're a bit busy at the moment, so I'll just tell you my name then. I am Professor Chill. It is a pleasure to meet you all. And may I ask how exactly the three of you got here?
Well,
First class shipping. Don't worry about it.
Shipping?
Express.
Like,
Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Hello,
do you work? I mean, the three of you don't look like mail mice exactly.
we're exotic pets.
He kind of looks at the three of you like very incredulous look, like, if you say so. Rather odd.
I think Echo is gonna like just take a step forward. She just goes, "I am Echo LeBlanc. Nice to meet you." And she holds out a business card.
Oh my god! Okay, I'm gonna be real. My audio skipped out, so I swear to God, it sounded like Echo said "ice to meet you."
Oh, she did.
Oh
Oh,
my
no. He seems very pleased when he hears her say that. Like he's like, "Ah, yes, ice to meet you as well."
Does he
And,
take the
he'll
business card?
Business card.
Yes. Oh, we're making contacts, baby. Networking.
Heck yeah,
Baby.
yeah. He'll give the business card a look, and he'll kind of tuck it into his pocket to keep it safe.
Yep.
And you two, what are your names?
I'm Beatrice LeCrown. Pleasure to meet you, and V kind of gives a formal bow.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
I swear, every time I hit push to talk, the baby screams.
Maybe want attention.
Maybe.
With all the bowing going on and the formalities, Abby's just like, my name's Abby K. Deborah, and she gives a bow that is noticeably not formal, but it is professional, absolutely the kind you'd expect a performer to give.
To be fair, Echo did not do a bow or anything. She literally just handed him a business card.
I was gonna say if
Abby K has nothing.
I was gonna say if the other two are bowing, I think he just kind of chuckles and is like, "Oh no, there's no need for such formality here." Yes, and I think around this time, one of the penguins comes back, and they're carrying a little tea tray on top of their head, and it says 4 cups of tea on it, and he takes one of them and says, "Thank you very much, Reginald. Help yourselves, please."
Thank you.
Yeah, Echo will take a cup of tea.
V takes a
It
cup of
is,
tea.
it is ice cold.
Excellent.
Tea is
Iced tea.
It's not, it's not frozen. It's still liquid, but it's still completely cold. So.
Iced tea.
Exactly. Yeah, iced tea.
Crying.
Oh my
Listen, this man
god.
has a schedule to keep up.
It's fair. You know what? It's fair.
Well, as much as I do enjoy having company over, I must ask, is there a reason the three of you have come here today?
Yeah, we came here on behalf of the Brett Brigade. I'm not sure if you'd ever heard of us, but
Don't believe so, but then again, I'm not exactly that up to date on a lot of current events. It is a rather remote place I live in, you understand.
yeah, no, that's fine. Like, the thing is, we're from Villestown, and we were like, I'll be honest, we were worried that something might have happened because it's been an even 50 degrees since the winter season hit.
Yeah.
So
Like, when you say all that, like he kind of sucks a breath in through his teeth, like, yes, that whole business. It's certainly been rather troublesome. I will admit. I assume three of you came here looking for an explanation about what's going on. Then,
and
More
if
or
it's at
less.
all possible, if we could help.
right? Um. Well, here's the thing. Um. See, something rather unprecedented has occurred this year. Somehow, we're still not quite sure how this could have happened, or if there's, or you see, the thing is, of course, you all know how it usually goes in previous years. You send us letters to us, and depending on how many votes we get, it's either a white animus or a green animus. This year it's rather odd. We've counted the letters very carefully, as we always do. The thing is, it's been, well, a draw this year. An even number of requests for both white and green. And of course, we can't exactly do both at the same time, otherwise it'd just be a big slushy mess. So, been rather stuck. The only can't, and of course, my brother and I, we can't exactly decide, make the decision ourselves. That's why we have the whole voting system. I mean, obviously, I would
Well,
think
couldn't you flip a coin?
Yeah, there isn't a plan in place for such an event.
that's just the thing. This has never happened before. We've done this for, goodness, I can't even think how long, like decades, centuries, even. However long we've been doing the voting system, but it's just never happened before, and we just simply don't have a plan in place for it. So, really, we just have a compromise of just keeping it as such. And the only problem is that with the weather as it is, it's rather miserable for the both of us. So we haven't really gone, we haven't really been able to meet up as we typically do to discuss this. So we're at a bit of an impasse, unfortunately.
So, you need the weather to be appropriate to go outside. And you control the
Um,
weather.
well, it's not exactly control per se. It's more that my brother and I have influence over it depending on the season. Especially at this time of year when and we are permitted to alter the temperature in a certain direction, so it's not controlling the weather per se. Apologies, the explanation gets rather wrong-winded. So, uh, yes.
I mean, our
Also,
weather's already determined by democracy. It's probably a lot more long-winded than we'd care to look into. So,
precisely, yes, yes, you have the right idea there. And also, well, here's the thing. It kind of leans in a bit, and listen, I don't want to. I don't. I love my brother very much, and I don't want to think less of him, but I've kind of been a bit worried that there may be a bit of foul play afoot with this. I mean, as I've said, this has never happened before. And there's also the fact that, well, typically a white animus is the more popular result. I mean, he's gotten plenty of years where it's been a green animus, but I mean, obviously, winter and snow is much more associated with the holiday.
I see,
So
I see. Echo's
I
like
don't want to
scribbling down notes now.
I don't want to accuse him or anything, because well, let's just say he has a bit of a temper when he gets
but
upset.
you're suspecting him.
Yes, and I don't really wanted to confront him directly about it, because I know he'll get rather upset. So again, we've been a bit of an impasse.
Suspect him of what?
Well, possibly messing with the votes. Um, something along those lines. Because as I've said, we've never had a draw like this before. And again, I don't want to accuse him, but I just can't see how else. I mean, it just seems so impossible that it could have been a draw like this.
Can I roll insight?
Yeah,
just,
actually,
just
that's-
to look at it.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at it and like,
Yeah, go for it.
Look, see?
God damn it! That was a crit fail, guys.
Oh no.
Amazing.
Oh, God.
I'm trying to.
Beatrice,
Abby, you look at
Beatrice.
this man. Yes, this man is completely sus. He's the most like ungenuine person ever. He's totally evil and up to something. Like you cannot trust him at all. Me, on the
She
other
looks
hand-
at him and it's too cold to look at him.
Yeah, you get a bit of like snow in your eyes.
Well, I imagine with his demeanor, he comes off a bit cold.
You know,
you'd think bad, but he's
I'm
pretty
leaving.
friendly, so he's not exactly.
it's pretty
really
warm
receptive.
considering.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, he was
Oh my
pretty
God.
warm.
Echo's insight.
Haha, 3.
Yeah, so 2 out of 3 of you. This guy cannot be trusted. He's not genuine in the slightest. But B, on the other hand, yeah, B. No, he definitely seems legitimately confused and like doesn't seem like he wants to blame his brother, but he also like can't really figure out like how else this could have happened. As like, and maybe it was actually a draw, but it just seems so strange to him that like it doesn't seem possible. So that's why he's kind of leaning more towards this possibility.
Well, we could try and go to your brother and see if there's anything up with that. I know how siblings are.
Yes. Actually, if you would be willing to do that, that would be a great help to me as well. You could go to his side of the castle and speak to him. I would send one of the Reginalds, but you know it gets rather hot on that side. And I would send a message to one of his birds, but well, charming little fellows, but they aren't exactly the most reliable. But anyway, if the 3 of you could go to him and tell him, ask him if he could meet me at the neutral ground at the center of the castle, that would be a great help.
Oh, has he been refusing
Absolutely.
to meet with you then?
Well, no, the both of us have just been sort of sequestered on our own side of the castles, which we typically are. We meet on the neutral ground some of the time when we need to discuss matters, or we send messages.
I
But
see.
again, like, yes, if the 3 of you could go to him and talk to him about all this business, that would be a great help to me, indeed.
Well, we don't have much choice, do we?
Yeah, the narrative requires it.
Well, either
Let
that
us
or
go.
we, with this middling weather we've been having, which I would certainly prefer not to. And only if you wish to take this on. I'm not going to force you or anything, obviously.
No. Well, we came here to help, so...
Then, well, in that case, I'll have, let's see, no, Reginald's busy. Reginald, could you, and one of the penguins waddles up to him. Newt? Yes, could you show our guests, to the entrance to the, opposite side of the castle, please? Newt? I think they could fit. Certainly, you can take that route. And, yeah, and then the Reginald, the penguin, will, beckon you to, well, like, lead you elsewhere, so.
Okay.
We'll see you
you-
shortly
you-
then.
Right? Yes, and thank you once again so much for your help. I'll see you in a bit then. Any waves you goodbye? And, so yeah, the penguin leads you over to, one of the ice slides, actually. And, it looks like this one is big enough, where all of you can fit onto it. So, yeah, do you get on the slide?
Okay.
We
Is
should have
there?
brought the box.
Is it like
It's
right?
your box.
Is it like right next to where we're at, or is there like a short walk?
Yeah, no, it's like in the same room because there's like slides
Okay.
going all over the place. So there's like one slide that like you can take because the penguins need to like move around this area. So there's slides all over. It's just like on the side of the room.
Yeah, Echo's just looking to converse with her companions, but it's okay. We could do it a little bit.
If you guys want a minute to talk with each other, yeah.
Well, not while we're in the same room as this guy.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
That seems a bit rude.
fair enough. Yeah. So yeah, so all three of you get on the slide then, or
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
B makes sure to just hold on to her hand because she's been through sleds, more specifically improvised sleds, but you know.
It's about the staircase.
Yep.
Nice. All right. So yeah, so Reginald will take the lead. He'll hop onto the slide and slide on his belly forward, and three you follow them, and you take this kind of twisting, turning, sliding route like all throughout the castle. You see different parts of the castle until it eventually leads you to kind of closer to the front, like where you started, but a bit more off to the side, oh, a bit further in. And Lunch, do you want to take over at this part, or we
Yeah,
kind of had like the
sure.
middle-ish ground, like at the front? So I'll let you take over.
Yeah. This is kind of a nice rest area for you all. It is where the meeting of the melting snow and the start of the green grass begins. Uh, so it is relatively quiet. It's almost like kind of reminds you of the oncoming of spring. Crocuses only popping out just as the snow recedes, and the grass only just starting to grow again. Uh, but um Reginald waits for you guys at the bottom of the slide. He seems fairly fine with this temperament because it hasn't gotten extremely hot yet. But you guys definitely have a few minutes if you want to talk.
Yeah, no, Echo's just gonna turn to them and just pull out her notebook and like flip through to some different pages. And just look at them and just say like, so what do we think?
Well, I trust him very much.
That's pretty bold for some guy you just met. But anyway.
Well, I call it intuitions of sorts. He seems genuine.
Oh, intuitions can be easily tricked. I don't put much stock into them, but I'll take your viewpoint into account going forward. She like scribbles a note.
I don't know. I feel like I probably won't make an opinion until we talk to the other guy.
It's fair. Well, I don't think it's impossible for there to have legitimately been a tie. But given the suspicions of our icy friend back there, I'm not so sure.
Well, was our friend there have anything to gain or lose in any of this situation?
Well, see, that's just it. Professor Chill doesn't have anything to gain in this situation, but neither would Professor Fever.
Well,
If you were going to
come.
tip the balance of the votes, wouldn't you want it to swing toward your own side?
True.
It sounds to me like they're both miserable. I guess we'll see.
That is fair. God, oh, for heck's sake, how many people are in Billstown? And it's a tie? Jeez.
Echo can probably rattle off the average population.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm pretty sure there is even a smallest bit of chance for it to ever happen, considering how much time has passed. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if at least once it would happen.
Perhaps this is that one time.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Echo's satisfied with this conversation if we want. Did you just newt?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Reginald also chimes in with his own perhaps, and of course his newt language.
Excellent.
V kind of gives it like a very, very yes, absolutely, completely understanding.
But he does seem pretty content to lead you guys through the neutral zone, which is very close to the temperature and temperament that it is back at home. Just kind of a very usual, bland 50 degrees. No excessive heat, no excessive gusts of wind, no excessive snow, none of that. But he does stop at some point. Um, when the grass starts to turn more into desert and rock, and he points you guys towards this large, imposing, intimidating iron door. And he just goes, "Nah, good luck."
Thank you.
So this is still inside this palace, right?
Yes. Have you ever been into like a very fancy house or like I don't even I've only been to one place, but it's like a facsimile of being outside while you're still inside.
Yeah. No, I think I know what
Yeah.
you're describing.
Yeah.
Wild.
Heckin' amazing. Abby cracks her knuckles and then walks over to the door to knock on
Yeah,
it.
I was gonna say Echo probably
Yep.
like gestures for Abby to knock on the door. If that's the
Yeah.
way they're doing it, if they don't want to take a stealth route, we can do this the polite way.
We gotta be polite for this.
Yep.
Being
All
polite
right.
doesn't always get you the truth.
That's true. Regardless, are you pushing forward with the being polite method?
For now.
Yes.
For now.
All right. Abby K, I assume you got like one of your sleeves rolled up, crack your knuckles, and go to bang on this giant door like you're a mom wanting to speak to the manager. uh,
She only cracked
And you-
her knuckles because she's just like, oh yeah, it's warmer.
It is indeed very warm. And as you bang on the door, the sound reverberates throughout, and like it almost seems to shake the slightly stone cavern that you're in. And then ever so slightly, you hear this like little click of something being moved, and the door swings open ever so slightly.
Echo just turns to B and just kind of mutters, "Well, that's always a good sign."
Are-
Suppose so.
do we just go in?
Well, that is a way of an invitation in, so... And B goes in.
If
I guess Abby goes after her.
Echo will go in last, and I think she is gonna try and be a little stealthy at this point. She doesn't trust this.
Okay.
Should I make a roll? Is that
Yeah.
okay? That's a natural
one
20
notices
for a
you.
total of 31.
You
Oh my
don't
god.
You don't see who it is, but someone almost shuts the door on you. Basically, you can kind of interpret that like while as soon as you guys were all in, they were going to shut the door and keep you guys in here, but they almost shut it on you. You managed to nimbly kind of dodge in
Very hush
or out
hush.
if you want to stay out.
No. Although I don't know if it's. I have been imagining that Dahlia has kind of been following them. Echo might leave Dahlia outside
That's fair. That's fair.
in that neutral space, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, that's all right. Dahlia can be like
Just
when-
two
when you see
birds hanging out.
Just two birds.
Dahlia and Reginald. Just. I guess you could say they're chilling, but not really in that room, huh?
Not so
No.
much. And here it is like a few degrees before it becomes sweltering. But at the same time, it's not like stifling. It's just very hot. Almost like you're in a sauna. And the other thing you notice is it is incredibly, incredibly dark. You can barely make out the hands in front of your face, if anything. Not that's to say nothing of any decor or any noticeable things on the walls or what this room even is. And you hear some footsteps in the darkness. Seem to be kind of surrounding you all. And then out of nowhere, an alarm bell rings, and the
Oh.
lights come on, and it's kind of like you know when you're on a movie when you're on like a dark ride and all the lights go on because there's an emergency stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
It's like that, and you are surrounded by some very familiar birds.
Are you kidding
Uh,
me?
What are you talking about, Avi? I don't know what you are saying.
I'm gonna grab
Oh.
you.
Um, it is lunchtime.
Oh my god.
I am going to peck and grab you.
Oh my god.
You are surrounded by about 5 of these funky little birds.
Amazing.
Who all kind of immediately just kind of like look around at each other. And just like, oh, hey.
Hello.
Hey.
We're
Hi.
here to see the professor.
Yeah, he is here somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Would that somewhere be ahead?
Hello?
Launch?
Hi.
Are we
Launch?
Lunch?
Launch?
launch?
Lunch?
Launch?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Launch.
Technical
Oh, no.
difficulties. Um, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Ba, 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 da.
Yeah.
I believe the birds got launch.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
You ever just get bird brain rot and just die? Launch!
That's how I feel.
This is fine.
Might be an internet problem or something.
Yeah. I guess
there's
take
launch,
5,
sorry.
everybody?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not just typing. Oh, shit!
Ah.
Oh no! Launch,
Oh no.
Oh.
Hmm.
Big.
Big oof.
Yeah. Well, we have been going for an hour or so.
Yeah, so I
And
say if
take
everybody
5.
wants to like get up, stretch your legs, get some more water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. Are you guys having fun? I'm having fun.
Yes, I'm
Having
having
fun.
fun. This has been a delight.
Yeah.
Glad to hear you guys having fun. I'm pretty sure Avi's gonna kill me and launch after this game is over.
Absolutely!
But, I'm having fun.
I saw Professor Chill. I'm doing
Is
the
it-
vibe check emojis.
It is
Oh my
really
God.
ironic that as soon as the lights came on in the game, the lights turned off at Launch's house.
Yeah.
Ba, 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 ba.
I'm gonna go get water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also gonna get like food too. Bye.
I'm gonna drink some more water too. Launch? Launch, are you alive?
Launch?
Oh, hello. I'm back.
Launch!
Launch, my beloved.
Launch,
Hello,
you're
I'm
alive!
We're taking
Like,
a quick break.
I was mid-sentence and then like all of the lights went out and I was just like, oh piss.
From our perspective, it just didn't answer. It was like, is he ahead? And then it was just fucking dead silent for like 30 seconds straight.
God, I'm so sorry. Yeah, God, this has gone just great.
You're not in
alright,
control
Launch,
of
not your
the
fault.
I
electricity.
know, I'm just frustrated. Oh well. Yeah, take a breather, take a break.
Mhm.
Someone probably fucking blew a surge on this blew this thing on the street. God damn it, bastards.
Yeah.
See, I was kind of hoping that it was just like my light bulb burning out because my light burns out fastest of any of all the light bulbs in the house. Is my room haunted? Probably. But no such luck. Oh, absolutely, yeah. Oh, I was
Definitely.
planning on doing it either way.
Mhm.
Not today though. I'm me tired.
Absolutely not. While we're taking a break, I will say fun fact. So the penguins being named Reginald thing, it was literally like me and launching the DMs, and at one point I went, "Hey, you know what would be stupid, but also really funny," and then we were both like, "Yes." Now all the penguins are named Reginald. Yep. hmm Yes, I love my little house in Pingu penguins. They're very sweet. They go noot noot.
Launched the hell out of our voice call. Man, I'm not as good with like warm, like hot and warm puns. I gotta like really think here.
Yeah. Yeah, you try to think of them, then you just freeze up. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, it was, it was nice to meet you. I also considered Ice Place you got here. Making any kind of comment about the palace.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Very nice.
I mean, fuck. I could just do nice to heat you, which is
I mean, you could.
it's pretty bad.
hmm
Ooh, it's this. Ooh, that's really bad.
Yeah. So please, more of the puns. I will say that the pun definitely endeared you to chill quite a
Yes,
bit.
yes. I was kind of hoping, but I was like, Echo's gonna do this anyway. Um,
Like, yeah.
she entertains herself
Hmm.
when she has to. I almost forgot that she has the business cards. I was like, what is she? Was she gonna like go for a handshake? She's not really that type. No, business card is much more mysterious.